Hello and welcome back to the American Sushi Podcast with me, one of your two favorite hosts named Evan, also known as Blue, and I'm here with my co-host who's one of your other two favorite hosts named Spooky, also known as Brandon.
Yeah, he's the favorite.
I'm one of two favorites, that's just a fact. And today, with us, we have a very special guest, fresh off one of Inaba's best concerts. We have Hiding in Public.
Yeah, hello.
Thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for inviting me on. It was pretty good timing, actually. Like 6 p.m. CT is pretty good. Is a pretty good times for me.
Oh, well, are you Central Gang, by the way?
Yeah, I'm Central.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
He's part of the Cool Kid Club.
I've moved and lived in 4 different states in the last 3 years.
Oh my
and
goodness.
all of them have still managed to be Central, despite the fact that they're so far apart.
Oh, flawless execution.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a cool one I just heard?
It's a cold one, but non-alcoholic. It's only 6 p.m.
Well, that doesn't stop some people.
That's... Oh, shoot.
I got a lot of work to do still.
Oh, then guess we just better fire right into it then. Don't want to keep this man from getting his stuff done. So I guess
This is some of the stuff.
Oh, are you saying that we're
Sorry.
work?
No, it's just something. It's an obligation that I have given specific time to. You know.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to us on here. Thank you.
Well, I guess the first thing is why don't you tell the people a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm hiding in public, or just go by hiding, and since 2017 basically, I've been making anime-related content on YouTube, generally pretty heavily scripted, thought-out, stuff, and then I also stream on Twitch pretty much daily, although recently I've been a little bit iffy, and I like playing a lot of Atlas games. I've played Persona 5 all the way through twice, and Persona 4 I'm finishing my second playthrough right now. Persona 3, and then I'll start SMT 4 after I finish Persona 4 now. So, yeah, kind of on a little bit too much of an Atlas kick.
You just made Evan's
Holy
whole
cow.
day.
My day's already been made because I watched your Yosuke video. And that was great. Yeah, I love Persona 4 Golden a lot. It's, I think, my favorite Persona game that I've played.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the themes that you covered with Yosuke really resonated with me regarding finding your place in the world and like understanding where you've come from.
Yeah.
So in the past like month, I've just moved to a big city, and so I'm starting to feel that like connection to my hometown a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I was feeling that way when I made the video too, because I'd moved away for college, and I moved like 8 hours from home into Nashville, and I came from like a small town, so it was significant.
Yeah, I imagine. I just visited Nashville this year, actually.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really liked the city. It was really cool.
Yeah, there's good parts of it. It's like not too big.
Yeah.
Like some cities, it's like just big enough to be a like significant city, but not enough to intimidate too much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got so much to do there too. Like, and it's not so spread out, I feel like, at least for my visit. So one of my questions that we'll go to, I think we'll kind of go a little more chronologically in order here. So like, how did you get started? What made you decide to do YouTube, and what made you decide to play games on Twitch too?
Oh man, that's kind of hard. Depends how depressing of an answer you want. I started YouTube because my whole life I had never had any friends who shared interests with me, and so I always kept it very close to my chest. I didn't really tell friends about it. My 2 best friends through high school and middle school that I still respect. We're on good terms. Like, I don't hold anything against them. I remember any time I try to bring up anime or anything, they would just like really come down hard on me, make fun of me and stuff, and be like, "Nah, I'm not gonna look at anime. I refuse to even give it a chance."
Yep.
But so it was like that didn't happen, and then I got to college, and I was like trying to reinvent myself and stuff, and so like I joined a fraternity, and all my friends were like in the fraternity, and so like obviously they're not really like big anime nerds. So I didn't feel like I had anybody to really share who I really was with. And so kind of as a cry for help, I was also incredibly like depressed and kind of directionless because I liked what I was studying in school, but I didn't like the jobs that were going to come from it. And so I felt very like stuck. And so I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll start making some YouTube videos. And so I made very personal YouTube videos about anime that meant a lot to me personally. So it's kind of cathartic, you know, where I didn't have friends to let me have that out. I was able to put it online. And it worked out. Thing is, I've always been a bigger fan of video games than anime, truth be told. Like, anime and video games, they're like my bread and butter, but I have way more video game consoles and like played video games for much longer in my life, and I'm like I feel like I'm really good at video games. So I really want to do video games, and at one point I tried to incorporate it into my channel, and it almost killed my channel in 2019, I think. But I managed to rebound. I was at like 30K, so I mean, clearly rebound from that. But I ended up putting that out on Twitch. I made a Persona-related video that didn't completely flop the day that Persona 5 Royal came out, and it launched me on Twitch. I was able to get partner, and yeah, so that's how and why for YouTube and Twitch, I guess.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, that's a pretty amazing story, actually.
Absolutely.
I feel like most people are just like, man, I really liked YouTube, so I started, and like that's the gist of it usually. But when your friends didn't really share like a lot of your interests, did that include video games as well, or was that mostly just for the anime stuff?
Yeah, that's video games as well. Like, I had friends who played some video games, but it was like Call of Duty or Star Wars games and stuff like that, which wasn't really what I played. You know, I grew up and I played a lot of Nintendo, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2. A lot of them were like pretty heavy Xbox only guys, and only had played like Halo and Call of Duty stuff, which, you know, Halo's fine, like, respect to Halo and everything. It's just like the only scene in video games that I was not familiar with. So it's kind of isolating. So even though, yeah, we both played video games, our tastes and our familiarity with them were still extremely separate a lot of the time.
Gotcha. And like, when it came to the YouTube scene, have you ever like made videos in the past, or was this your first channel?
Oh yeah, I made lots of video games. I had I was about to say the name of it. That might be bad. I'm not sure.
Hey, that's up to you. Like, I'm not gonna force it.
Yeah, that's totally up to you.
I don't think it would be around, but I had a moniker that I used that was the combination of L and near, LN, which was also my first and never mind. Anyways, I had that moniker, and I used it for a channel where I did edits, very innocuous. I was like 11, 12 years old. And I did like video edits and just like practicing, you know, like all those cringy videos from like the Mystery Guitar Man days where people would like, lightsaber duel.
Yeah,
that garbage. And then I made a video game Let's Play channel, which I did with like Bandicam and like all the Garbo, like pre-frap stuff.
That's awesome.
Did Minecraft and Portal and Half-Life and stuff like that. And my computer was dog shit. It was horrible. So, of course, it was like terribly laggy. And then, I had a lot of channels. Let's see. Oh, I had a Heroscape channel. Heroscape was like this Wizards of the Coast shitty, like,
the board
dungeons.
Game?
Yeah.
Oh, I had that, but my friends and I, we did not know how to fucking play it. So we would always just make up our own shit. But like,
see, I had no friends to play it with. I had to convince my sister and like my dad to sit down with me, and like they didn't care, but I still liked it. I was like, oh, look at the figures. I like building the maps.
Yeah, exactly. Like kids in my neighborhood, I would just bully them, and like also we had a local comic shop up here that they sell these things called Hero Clicks, which are like also like minifigures that had their own game of like various superheroes and stuff like that. So like they were like the same size as Hero Clicks things. So we're just like, hey, or I mean of Heroscape stuff. So we would just buy them and make up our own dumb games. I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah. Man, that unlocked a repressed memory.
Me too. I had to look that up.
Yeah, that's neat that you know what that is. Yeah, because it was not successful. They stopped producing it very quickly. I'm trying to think though. With that, I had my editing channel, my gaming channel. Oh, and then I finally had a Minecraft YouTube channel where I hosted. There was something back in the day called not Good. The guy who hosted it was Good, but it was the
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yes. So they were vanilla whitelist private server with all YouTubers who just played in this ginormous world, and they had no creative mode, no cheats. They just did it legit, and they would build these crazy, amazing bases, and I thought that was super cool as like a 14-year-old, and so I hosted a server of my own, and there was like 20 guys on there, and the rule was if you had to stay on the server, you had to keep making videos. So all of us had channels where we made videos for this server, but nobody got big. Nobody we just screwed around, played ultra hardcore like on private servers and stuff, and then eventually that died out. I've made so many channels. My freshman year of college, I really love Steven Suptic and Sugar Pine 7. I love their style. So I just went to blatantly rip off Steven Suptic with like these live action news report style things in Nashville of me talking about these crazy things and like this false setup vlog style. And that failed because my whole channel got terminated through copyright, I think. That's what happened. Because I was like, well, I'm not making any money, so they can't copyright me. Nah, they can. So I used all this copyright music. I got murdered. And then finally, sophomore year of college, I made the Hiding in Public channel.
That is quite the journey.
Yeah, you just took us on a trip through YouTube history, basically.
I've always been there, just in the shadows.
I feel like that's how it is for like most people, unless they're coming in right now, but it's always great to see OGs out there still going strong, even in their own way.
Yeah, sorry for being so wordy with most of the questions. I'm kind of
please do.
Talky person.
Yeah, absolutely do. So, like, who do you take? Do you take any inspiration from other YouTubers in your current style of video?
Well, I think that, on the surface, video essay content could be summarized into like one sphere. I think there's a very large variety of different things that fall under video essay content. My content started out very personal, and then I started incorporating a lot of philosophical and psychological concepts that I was learning in college, and then it came into more thematic and character analysis with like lots of like character details. I've always tried to fill a niche. The content I make is content I want to see that I don't feel like other people make. And so I've always kind of just done what fits my kind of anal specifications for like content that I find interesting, which is highly detailed, highly efficient, not stuff that repeats itself too much. The only person I can really say I look up to for content in terms of like modeling after them and really wanting to be like them is probably, it's not a YouTube channel, but it's not a YouTube channel. It's not a like anime channel, YouTuber? But it's a YouTube channel that is in the gaming sphere. The godfather of like analysis, who isn't the biggest out there because he doesn't post very often, but it's Matthew Matosis, and I love his channel. He is literally like, he's perfect. When he makes a point, he is articulate through and through. Like, arguing with Matthew Matosis isn't just, I disagree with you. Because to disagree with Matthew Matosis, you have to have, like, sources. You have to have citations. You have to be like, well, you're actually incorrect because of this, and this. Because he does his homework on anything that he says. And it's just a thoroughly satisfying experience to hear him go through that. My content is not nearly that technical a lot of the time, but sometimes I do go for that. And he's kind of my standard on that sense.
Okay. Because, as I was going through some of your library, that's something that really stood out to me was how well-researched and how articulated your videos were. It seemed like no point was made just thrown out there. There's always some support in the text or in the show or video game or whatever that supported it. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that comes out of insecurity more than anything. Just because I feel like whenever I make a video, I think, is this worth people's time? Does someone actually gain from this? Is this a worthwhile piece of entertainment for someone? Which is so stupid. Nobody on YouTube thinks like that. I mean, some, I guess. But, like, nobody. People just go, I'm going to make a fun video, and I hope people like it. But for me, it's like, is there a point in this existing? And considering it's an artistic platform and creative medium, it's very hard to nail down some sort of object point for something to exist like that. So my high level of efficiency I strive for kind of comes out of an insecurity for there not really being a strong reason for my thing to exist, I guess.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, though, at least with how I approach things. I feel like whenever I'm looking like even just through my subscriptions page, I can usually think to myself like, is this video right here something that like I'm going to get anything out of, or is this something that's going to stand the test of time? And I feel like that's something that's important to approach when it comes to your own content that a lot of people probably don't think about, but I think they should start, just because things that last a long time are things that are considered like evergreen content where, you know, like they're still going to be relevant after a long time. Yeah. I feel like a lot of YouTubers don't think about that too much. They just think about like, oh, what's trending right now, or what's going to get me views at this exact second, or whatever. But things that are going to last and stay this test of time, I feel like that's going to be where YouTube goes, especially since watch time has become so important these days, rather than just getting clicks. So I'd say that even if it comes out of insecurity, you're thinking the right way. And you'd probably be surprised at how many others do, but at the same time, it's still kind of a newer concept for YouTube, I think. So
no, it's cool you said evergreen content.
Yeah.
Because, that's like an exact term. There's the trending content and evergreen content. You want to go for, you want to be trending enough to get views, but evergreen enough that it's not like immediately worthless. It's like the whole balancing act.
It's kind of like how I never really understood the concept of chapter reviews to an extent, because I get like when things are coming out and things are new, it's really exciting because like, okay, One Piece chapter 1000 just came out, or like whatever. It's going to be really exciting to see what people think about it at that moment. But like, who's going to be thinking about like chapter 70 3 years from now? Like basically nobody. Like that video has a lifespan and then it's dead. Whereas, if you're talking about like maybe an arc of One Piece, like people are going to be reading One Piece for eons from now, or just a long time. So people are going to be wanting to see like what people thought about that as a whole. They're not going to be going back every individual chapter and seeing what somebody thought about it. So it's just little changes like that that can go a long way in terms of long-term content, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
So when you approach video making, or like approach a topic or the whole process, how does that usually work for you?
It's different. Things that I find important and meaningful, this is my life, and so I want to derive like some deeper meaning from what I do, even if I am making anime videos on the internet. So a lot of times I look at, why is this media important to me? What is it? Why does it mean what it means? And then I think about that really heavily, and I try to come to a well-rationed conclusion. And then I think, okay, how can I share that with other people? That's a good majority of the time. I thought, what was the most like what caused me to get really riled up and excited in season 4 of Haikyuu with Hinata? I'm not gonna spoil, but with Hinata and everything that goes on in that season 4. And I really thought about it, and I was thinking, well, there's clearly this theme and this dichotomy between what it means to be a monster, or what it means to have talent versus skill, and all this sort of thing, and dedication, hard work, and all that. And it's substantiated by the characters consistently, and it's a message that I think is positive and reaffirming. So I thought, how can I best give that message across to a viewer and substantiate it with all of the details in the story that point towards that conclusion? And so then after I, take notes or whatever to get all that done, then I just edit it together. If it's a manga video, it's more casual than that. I don't go through and this character says this in episode this, because that's a little bit of a headache sometimes. Sometimes I just like something and I like the message and I want to recommend it to people. So I give an idea for what the message is and how it meant something to me without being explicit with my spoilers. And just try to put fun, cool edits on the screen, because I love editing. I mean, I enjoy, especially harder edits. They look really cool. It's very satisfying when they're done.
Yeah, that brings me to another question I had.
Now,
actually,
I need to pause you real quick, okay? I'm sorry.
Okay.
But Simply Amanda just showed me that one of the tags you put us in is
don't even. Don't.
Well, is that what's going to happen? Is that our game? Did you just spoil our game with the tags?
No, I was just scrolling through and I was like, this one sounds funny, so I clicked on it.
What is it again?
Don't bully me.
What is it?
It's something with horses, right? Is it horse riding?
Horse riding. Yeah. That's what you tagged us in.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. All right, continue with your question.
We're riding the horse of life, Evan.
Oh, cool. All right, continue with your question, please.
Wow.
I want to forget about that as soon as I asked it.
Thanks.
Yep.
Wow. Way to disrupt the flow. How could you do this to me?
That's your fault.
Well, okay. So one of your videos that I really liked that I watched a little while back was your one about Blame or Blam, or however you say it.
Yeah.
Because it's a series that I've always kind of like had on my radar, but I didn't know much about it, and I wanted to, get somebody's perspective on it, see maybe like what it's about without any like big spoilers, but also kind of get a look into the world. And I have to say, like, a lot of the edits that you do are really cool, and like these days, a lot of people have editors, and you're like one of the only people, unless you do have one, and I'm just
I don't.
ignorant.
It's all me.
But yeah, so like, what does that feel like? Because I feel like I'm alone over here. I'm like one of the only people who still edits my own stuff, and here you are. What's going on?
Part of it's a lack of trust, and I have to pay people, right? And then I have to pay them like a good amount, and if they don't do it perfectly on the first time, then I'm kind of wasting my money. Yeah. Because I don't have just like buckets of cash to just waste on people, and I have very anal and specific things. I'm not very good at giving up the control whenever it comes to my own channel, because it's just I'm so scared of it getting screwed up in some way.
Yeah.
Aside from that, though, at least up to 100K, I wasn't going to get anything at all, because I didn't show my face on purpose because I didn't want, around 2017, it was coming out of like the 2014 to 2017 era, where it was very much like identity politics, kind of like people only succeed because of this and that and this and that. And got a few comments about how my voice sounds like I'm a lesbian or something. So, I think that my voice, while definitely male sounding, is, it's not like set in stone. There's plenty of voices in AniTube who do reach different minorities and stuff like that. I wanted to basically keep everything about me that I could completely vague and empty.
Yeah.
And I wanted to succeed on my own shoulders as much as possible, so that nobody could ever say that I succeeded because of, this or that. I never sought out shout-outs. I never asked for them. Whenever people would be like, oh, you want a shout-out? I'll be like, no, that's fine. That's fine. When I had less than 50 subs, I actually messaged Eyepatch Wolf and privately, and he responded. I privately asked for some criticism, some comment on what he thought was good or bad, what I should change with one of my videos, and I never publicly talked about it until I felt like I had already, gotten somewhere, and I never posted about it. I never added him on Twitter or anything. It's just, I wanted his thing, but I told him specifically in the message, I do not want a shout out. Do not give me a shout out. I just want to know how to get better. Maybe this is insecurity once again, but I wanted to feel like I could do something on my own and I could succeed at it. So I didn't tell my friends and family that I had a YouTube channel until I had 100K and what it was. I didn't get an editor. I didn't, officially confirm anything about my race, gender, or sexuality, or at least I tried not to. I tried to be as blank slate as I could manage, to where I was succeeding based on the quality of my ideas and the effectiveness of my editing skills. And that was just very important for me. Since 100K, I just have a trouble getting rid of the control at this point. It's scary. It's actually very inefficient. I need to find like a good editor who will let me give them slave wages, and just maybe I could post more. I don't know, but that's my big long reasoning. Self-important, whatever.
Oh no, I think that's super respectable and impressive to have that mindset of like, I'm going to build this. And I think that's something that is lost in a lot of modern YouTube, and a lot of the people starting right now don't have that mindset, and it probably could be a little bit more beneficial for some of those people, I think.
Yeah. I just feel like they're missing out on a lot of the YouTube experience these days, because like people with like even just a couple hundred or a couple thousand subscribers like already have editors, and I'm like, you're missing out on the whole experience. I don't know, at least for me personally, especially kind of like how a lot of the content like in AniTube, for instance, it's just audio with like visuals over top, right? I feel like if you don't edit the visuals over top yourself, it's kind of not even really your video. Like, it's your thoughts, but as far as like the actual visuals go, if you have someone else edit that completely, like it's not even really yours anymore. Like, that's a joint thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know, if it's like a face cam video, for instance, I feel like there's a lot more of a leeway with that, because you're still front and center. But
yeah, that's true. Or even if you just have like a segment at the end with your face, that makes sense. I need to start incorporating my face more. Even though I had my face reveal, I don't think a lot of people who watch me know what I look like.
My face has like been on my channel since the beginning, but like I still get people saying, "Oh, look, a face reveal."
Oh yeah.
Like the last one I did is funny, the lesbian comment, because someone's like, "Hey, look at this cute little lesbian." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
That's a Pyrocynical reference, isn't it? From that old H3 podcast.
Yep.
Who is that cute little lesbian and how tight? Yeah, that's a good meme. I love that.
Oh man, those are also good times. The Leafy and Pyrocynical.
Oh, yep.
H3 drama. Oh boy, where have we gone?
Where have we gone?
Yeah, where have we gone?
Where did we
Straight
go
away
back
from
to bullying
God.
kids?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still bullying kids. Let's not.
Oh, straight up. Great.
If you're not bullying kids, what are you doing with your life? That's what I said.
So,
I did unironically watch a lot of Leafy when in like 2016 and stuff.
Me too.
Yeah.
I have a playlist on my Spotify still that's like a compilation of some of his outro songs that I liked.
Uh-huh.
Every now and then I get in the mood. There's like, is it like City Lights by Marvin something? There's like a really good song. I don't know. It's like, got me in the party, all up in the zone. I love it. It's such a good outro.
Oh man. So what is your background in writing? Because I feel like this is totally off the subject kind of, but when I watch your videos, I was an English major in college, and it really reminds me of writing papers back then. You know what I mean? Like, it really substantiating claims and doing that. Do you have some sort of background in writing or researching or anything?
I mean, yeah, like, so I double majored philosophy and psychology, and I minored in marketing in college. And
okay.
in philosophy, one of the first things they teach you is you take a logic course. And logic is just basically, it drills home the efficiency of speech. You need to say words that mean what they mean. You need to say words that are accurate to their definitions so that there's no vagueness or interpretation left up to what you say. Whenever you're making a paper. If you're being artsy, then, it's fine to be vague with language. I do that every now and then. But when making a point, they very much drive home. I remember my major professor for most of my philosophy courses, after like the first entry course, he made it a rule that like you could be spending like a month or two on a paper that's like a 5 to 10 page paper, and it has all these sources and everything. And if your language is loose, if you say sentences that are useless and just taking up space, he would deduct up to 20 points off of your essay. You could go straight to barely out of a C.
Yeah.
If you just didn't speak properly and use the right words. The best part is sometimes if you had a disagreement, he thought something was useless and you thought it was useful, you could actually go to his office and argue with him to get points added back to your thing. Most of the time it wouldn't work because he was not a pushover. He didn't just want to have an argument and give you some points for arguing with him. He was very serious, but there was once that I was able to get my score up like 5 points because I was able to debate well enough through that. But that experience, I guess, through logic, I think it's very efficient and very helpful. It's also put this stupid, horrible brain in my head now to where whenever people say words that don't mean what they mean, and then I say something and they misunderstand me, sometimes I'm a little impatient in my brain. A lot of people use the word objective and subjective completely incorrectly, and they don't know what it means. And people say like, objectivity doesn't exist, or like subjectivity is, whatever.
Like
there are only opinions. It's like
all art is subjective or something like that.
Yeah, like all art is subjective, which is a nice sentiment.
Great.
But is fundamentally and provably, to an extent, wrong. It is mostly subjective, but there are objective ways of looking at art. Just aspects of it, Like, is this a painting? There's an objective way to tell if something is a painting or not. If it is not painted, it is not a painting, objectively. It's definitionally true.
Well, I know when one thing is objective in art. When it has the perfect spiral.
Oh, sweet.
I just want to throw that out there real quick.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No, I won't go on too much of a rant. But yeah, that's my background, I guess. I don't have like a proper English background in that sense, but I did a lot of reading and writing you've got your normal courses in college. I also did AP and honors in high school, but that doesn't mean a lot, to be honest.
Yep. I think that the philosophy background is so interesting because, like, And the way you explained it of being so deliberate with your language, because a lot of the people that I watch, I like a lot of the video essayists, but they go on for like an hour and a half, 2-hour long videos. Like I'm watching a movie of some guy talking about dancing in film or something like that, right? And a lot of the times they do end up repeating themselves, or they do end up making points that don't mean anything. And so I think that your brain really lends itself well to keeping things concise, but making all the points that you want to make.
Yeah. Well, I love long analysis, too. Most of the people who do it are just horrible at it. Matthew Matosis has something called Dark Souls Commentary. It's almost 7 hours long. He goes through the entire game of Dark Souls in a systematic way and analyzes the game. And it is gorgeous. I think I've rewatched it, if not twice, then at least the one time.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful to listen to. It's like watching art. Or listening to art.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about Breadsword. He's one that, I don't know if you're familiar with him at all, but he does film analysis and stuff like that, and he really reminded me of your style of really getting into the ideas and themes of things that me as a casual observer I don't get. Specifically, the video that really hit me was your Persona 5 music motif video. Like it's so simple because you hear that one sound constantly throughout the game. Like it's in almost like so many different songs at so many key moments, but like I just never paid attention to it. I never noticed it.
Yeah. For me, I was driving in my car, and I was listening to Persona soundtracks like I had been doing for months.
Yeah.
And at one point, I just back-to-back listened to Swear to My Bones and Maya's theme, and I was like, those are the same notes. And then I started going in, like, conspiracy theory mode.
Yeah.
And then I presented it to my friend, who is an official composer, like, professional composer, and he was like, you're not crazy. And I was like, awesome. So I'm very proud of that video.
Yeah, I thought that was... And, like, you described it as, like, I'm going to get kind of music theory, but you definitely made it understandable, because I have no knowledge of any sort of music at all, except, like, what I like and don't like, basically. But I understood the ideas you were posing. Yeah,
I was afraid I dumbed it down a little too much. I had some people be like, everyone knows what a motif is. You don't need to spend 5 minutes on it. And I was like... See, I would say sorry, but I have plenty of comments from other people saying I had never heard what a motif was. So you never know, it's hard to know sometimes.
Hey guys, what's a motif?
It's, well, do you know? Do you know from my video, Blue?
I do know from your video, actually.
Listen, I've never gotten into Persona yet, so I can't. Listen, I have not spoiled myself on anything.
It's not specifically Persona related. It's just a general music term, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but I'm still an idiot.
Do you like Lord of the Rings?
It's funny, we just talked about this. So I actually just, within like the last week, 2 weeks, watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
Awesome. Did you recognize pieces of music that seemed to like repeat themselves throughout the movie? Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Every time that repeats in a song over the course of the entire soundtrack of Lord of the Rings, not just one song, because it's in many songs. Every time it repeats with different instruments at different times, that is a motif. And so in the same sense, basically...
Okay.
And normally they represent specific themes or characters or ideas that the story is trying to present. That's what a motif is, basically.
Okay. I just wanted to prove the punks in your comments that some people don't know.
Yeah. Oh. You actually did know. You were just going along with my explanation.
No, absolutely he did not know. Don't let him sell you that.
I'm serious. I didn't know. Okay. Well, then kind of bouncing off how you said, like, for instance, you were really proud of that video. A question that I had is, do you have a favorite video that you've made, if you had to pick one?
Yeah, I mean, like, I try for different things on different videos. Like, there's different favorites in different ways, but I know that's a cop-out. I wish I could make videos more like this, and it's slowly accumulated views over the last three years, but it's not still very viewed. So I quit YouTube. I gave up. I started in 2017, went from August to like October. I wasn't getting any traction. I didn't really give up, but I was like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. And so I decided I was going to learn Japanese and move to Japan and be an English teacher. So I did that for the next 8 months, and I didn't do YouTube. But then at some point, after like months and months and months of learning Japanese, I was like, wait a second, I'm going to be stuck around kids all day. Doesn't matter if they're Japanese kids. I don't want to be around a bunch of fucking snot-nosed kids all day. And so I got hit with another dose of despair. And so I was like, okay, I'll come back to my YouTube channel. It had been itching at me for a while. And so I made 4 videos. The video I made when I came back was Sun Gods and a Lion, I Want to Be Needed. Then I made Rom-Coms Aren't Real Life, It's Okay to Run Away, Gurren Lagann, Becoming You. I made those 4. And all of them were a plotted out lineage to point to one stage of a repeating mental process I'd been going through. And so the culmination and explanation of those 4 videos came in probably what is my favorite video, which is Art, Ego, and Sakuraso, which is about the pet girl of Sakuraso, the, harem whatever show from whenever about art. And the first 9 minutes of that video is just explaining my mindset and the way that I look at the world and myself and things and my state and where I am as a person and how I want to meet people and grow and do things. I don't even talk about the show till like almost 10 minutes in. It's a 14-minute video. And so that made it my favorite in a sense because it felt very cathartic. But then also the entire video is very artistic in a way that not a lot of people would notice, in that the first half and the last half of the video are mirrors of each other. They're almost the exact same paragraphs put in reverse, but with select words taken out and changed. But you wouldn't even pick up on it if I hadn't mentioned it to you. It's like a very seamless thing. And it ends with like a very powerful moment. I just really, like from an emotional standpoint, from a personal, that would probably be my personal favorite. I don't think it's my best video necessarily, but I think it's probably my most like artistically ambitious and personal.
That's incredible.
Has a super shitty thumbnail.
That's so well thought out. Like, that's so meticulously planned and then executed. Wow.
Yeah, doing unnecessarily complicated crap for no reward is like a kink of mine, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too.
Okay. You want me to bring out one of my banger questions that I wrote down before we started?
Sure.
Okay. How often do you wash your bed sheets?
What?
Not that often. I guess whenever I feel like I can start to smell something, like if I smell like a little BO or something, I'll be like, oh, all right, it's time to wash them. I know this is probably gross. There was a few girls I knew in college who would like wash their bed sheets every friggin' week. And like when I heard that for the first time, in my mind, I was like, there's no way. There's no way that people do that. That's such a huge consumption of time.
Absolutely.
But then I was too insecure to say that because then I thought they were all going to think I was gross. It was like I hadn't changed my sheets in like 2 months. So I was like, So not often at all, to be honest. It's almost like the smelly shirt test, you know?
Yeah.
I've already worn this shirt. Let me check. You sniff the armpits, and you're like, it still smells good, and you put it back on. It's kind of like that. If it smells bad, then I'll do it.
Yeah, I told you I'd surprise you.
Good. That's a great one. I'm glad.
What about you, Evan? Huh?
How often do I...
You're not getting out of it.
How often do I wash my bed sheets? Like, once a month, probably.
Okay.
I don't know. I alternate my bed sheets. So I've got, like, 2 good ones that I really like. And so I alternate them and then wash them, like, once a month.
Yeah. I also shower in the mornings. I think that contributes, too. If I showered at night and didn't wash my bed sheets very often, that'd be really, like, redundant and gross, I feel like. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I'm cleaning myself off the second I get out of bed, so it's like, I don't know.
Absolutely. Morning shower all the way. So, what's your favorite Persona game? Let's go there.
Favorite Persona game? For a while, it was Persona 3 because I thought the story and characters were the most interesting, even though the gameplay was just a slight step down from original P4.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, P5 was the first one I played. I played P5, P4, P3, in that order, and then I played some of Persona 2, Innocent Sin, and Eternal Punishment. But the main thing is, like, I was barely holding on to P3 as my favorite because P5's UI and the level that it expanded all of the mechanics in the game and just the sheer finesse of it all was just a thoroughly fun, engrossing, and emotional experience for me. Once Royal dropped, that pushed me over. I think Royal's my favorite now because the third semester, I won't spoil, it's a truly awesome. It should have got Best Narrative at the Game Awards, but, you know, Last of Us 2 got all of them because they like to stick it to the gamers.
They sure got us.
They sure got me. I was so sad. No, Persona 5 Royal, the third semester of that is genuinely like probably one of the most moving, deep and interesting narratives I've ever seen like put in a video game. Because it essentially takes the message of Persona 5, which I initially found somewhat lacking, which is why I put P3 above it. And it essentially addresses the holes in that, flips it on its head, and asks a much more nuanced question with a villain that really isn't a villain. And it also reconceptualizes and recontextualizes. Oh, fancy big boy word over here. I don't know why I said all that. But it like recontextualizes a few of the major characters. I also thought the reveal was really interesting and emotional with Kasumi, the new character in 5R. I don't know. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's literally like it's tied for me as my favorite video game of all time now.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, and I hate how the Persona fan base is, and how it seems like none of them have played the game.
Oh, I have that question too.
Yeah.
See, I think anyone who's played Persona 5 Royal really has a lot of similar views as yours. I haven't played it yet. I did play Persona 5 originally, but Royal seems to have added enough that I would consider taking it on again if I got a PS4. And like that's a hefty game to add a whole nother semester to. Like,
yeah, when I first streamed it, and I was streaming it, and I was like doing like hype trains where I'd like play music or whatever. So it was quite a bit slowed down, but it took me like 180 hours to get through the game.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah,
it's
took
a
me
huge
like
game.
Like 130 or 100, like over 100 for sure, and that's just me playing it casually by myself. So to say that I would play that again, Persona 5 is really special, and I think it really does the gameplay better than any Persona game that I've played. But I just really resonated with Persona 4's story a lot more, and the characters, I feel like. And I think that if I played Royal, how you're describing the third semester, clearing up some of the themes and asking different questions, I think that would really engage me more, because that's really where I felt like it was kind of not necessarily simplified, but it had kind of a simpler theme, or a more smack you on the head with it theme, I feel like.
The bad guys were very like very cartoonishly bad in a lot of cases.
Yeah. I think, and it started off so strong with Kamoshida. I feel like he was an incredible villain. Yeah. But then the rest of them, bar a couple, weren't super memorable.
Yeah. I mean, they were definitely enjoyable, but in terms of being dynamic and interesting villains, they really weren't. And I feel like, the final boss being a god, just like every other Persona game and most other JRPGs, is a little underwhelming as well. P5R puts you against a truly dynamic and interesting final boss that you have some familiarity with throughout the game and really empathize with, to the point where they added another ending where you can literally just choose to lose. It basically leaves the opportunity that if you are convinced by this person's ideology, then you can literally give up as an ending. You can literally have another ending there, which is horrible. He's obviously wrong. The villain is wrong, but they definitely do have a very emotionally compelling argument that isn't totally hogwash. I want to enslave the children. I'm gonna pass drugs all over Shibuya.
Shoot.
It's really good.
Yeah. I think Persona 5 is really, it's such a good JRPG just in general. It's so well done, but I don't know. I really like the themes. Like, JoJo's Part 4 is my favorite JoJo's, and so I think Persona 4 mirrors a lot of that as well.
Yeah. They have a very similar vibe to them. The small town murder mystery.
Yep. Yep. And it's like episodic. Like each character that you add and that you visit in the Midnight Channel doesn't necessarily further that main plot line, but
it does a little bit. But yeah, they were at a standstill for a decent amount of it.
Yeah,
I really like actually one point in Persona 4 where they think that they have determined everything that leads to somebody being kidnapped. And then they're proven wrong, and it's like, it's back to square one. But I mean, it was like they were making progress. It felt like, but they really weren't. I really liked that kind of rug under.
Yeah. And then they were all, like, realistically reacted to it, where they were pissed off and mad that they had to start back over.
Yeah. But also, Persona 4 is also just, like, more fun. And, like, it's lighthearted. It's very cheery compared to the other games, despite the fact that people are being murdered in a small town. But, I mean, it's definitely compared to 3 and 5, it's very cheery. Mm-hmm. Which I know some people like a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Persona 3 was almost my favorite over Persona 5 for a little bit, so obviously I like things being a bit depressing personally.
Yeah, yep, that Persona 3 is really depressing. Just you just see how they summon their personas. That's not very cheerful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the main themes, it kind of reflects on that too. Mm-hmm. Persona 3 is all about death, confronting death, and how to deal with death. Persona 4 is all about truth. What is truth? How do you seek and find truth? And Persona 5 is about freedom. How much freedom should be allowed to people? How much freedom until it starts to oppress others? And how do you move on from that? And so death, truth, and freedom. Like, you couldn't pick any more, like, badass topics for, like, a theme for games. They're great.
Wow. Mm-hmm. See, I'm going to kill the vibe here and ask a completely different question that has nothing to do with
that's good. We probably talked about it too long. Cool.
See, I just don't know anything about Persona. That's why I can't really chime in. But Evan loves it, so I'm happy to hear him talk about it with you, honestly. But you guys ready for this one?
Yeah.
It's a real banger. Okay, hiding, and also Evan by extension.
Great.
Do you guys like feet?
No.
Like, in what regard? I used to hate them in, like, any context whatsoever. I've kind of mellowed out.
Well, it could be like a thing as a kink, or you just don't mind feet. I'm just like, where's the line?
So when I was younger, and my mom used to even tease me about this, I hated feet. Anytime someone touched me with their feet, I would, like, blow up, be very angry. I would yell at them. I hated it, found it so disgusting. I think it's because of, like, a camp counselor when I was younger. I saw his big yellow toes, and I was like, that is the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Get those deformed hands away from me. But I've come to the point where I'm just okay with them now. Like, I've addressed, like, there are ugly and attractive parts of any person on any body, like feet, I'd say a good 90-95% of the time horrible, terrible. 5% of the time maybe they can be just as attractive or fine as other things. Not that I would seek them out, but that they don't disgust me. Generally, really attractive people are really attractive through and through,
Yeah.
That is very, yeah.
I respect that answer. I think it just reminds me of one time I had a girl in my car, and she took her shoes off and just put her feet on my dashboard, and we got into a huge fight about that because I didn't want her to do that. I was like, please don't put your feet on my car, please. She's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. I don't want your freaking feet on my car.
See, I just don't like it when they do that because it's, like, dangerous. Like, if we get in a wreck, your legs are going through your fucking skull.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like it, but I don't know.
Yeah, do you like
I don't know
feet?
if I'd get enough. Huh?
You like feet?
I can't really say. I don't really care for feet, but at the same time, see, I have a philosophy. You want to hear this philosophy?
Sure.
I think that when you truly love someone, even if you hate feet, you kind of love their feet too, And I said that to people, and there's like, oh, wow, this guy likes feet. What a freak. So it's just kind of a meme.
No, that's
so
definitely different. That's definitely different.
Well, Spooky, it's perfectly fine if you like feet. It is, like, the most popular mainstream fetish out there. So statistically speaking, feet people are hiding everywhere, and not hiding, though. They're not hiding. They're not. I'm not. But see, if you are statistically, that is. I mean, I don't judge you. That's all up to you.
Yeah.
If people,
that's
there's so many more fucked up things you could be
Absolutely.
into, and I'm cool with that. Even it's not like I'm being dragged into it. So whatever.
Yeah, I feel like as long as your kink isn't affecting other people in a negative way, like, what's the harm?
Yeah.
In anything, for that matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, my philosophy is basically that anybody can be a foot person for the correct pair of feet. That's my thing.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you won't expect it. You could hate feet to death, but one day, if you find that right pair of feet, you'll say I was right. I'm just saying.
Okay, Cinderella.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I like that nickname. Thanks.
Do you, man? Great. I'll call you forever.
I think that was really clever and cool.
I'll call you forever from now on.
Thanks. Okay, can you ask a better question?
Yeah,
please?
absolutely. Well, that's not hard. So, Heidi, can you? We briefly touched about this, and I think this can be a more universal topic. So Spooky can chime in, but like, what has been your experience with the Persona community? A few people that I've followed that have made Persona videos have really struggled to branch out of it, and I don't know if you've had that problem because you didn't initially
I only
start
made the couple
with Persona.
videos.
Yeah. But yeah, what's your experience been, both positively and negatively, with the Persona community as a whole?
There's two people in the Persona community that I think are really good. One is Crystal. It's like Crystal, but with AHHL or something.
Yeah, the dancer.
Yeah, she does dancing, but I really like her streams. I think her streams are very respectful. She takes a lot of effort to understand and make a good comment on the stuff. She also had stream highlight videos that she put out back when she was originally going through them, and they were thoroughly entertaining and fun. I really enjoyed them. I felt like she really understood the characters and cared a lot. You know, she had a little bit of the inner shipper in there.
Yeah,
but that's fine. You know, it wasn't like she was pushing it on like it was some sort of canon. And she was very charming, and she seemed like a great creator to show the face of Persona to people, I guess. Other than that, there's the J Music Ensemble. They are an incredible, I think, 8-piece jazz band, contemporary jazz band, where they cover video games and stuff. They were actually at Otakon. I've known about them since 2019, but they released a whole Persona covers album with a song called When Mother Was There, which has a couple rap verses added on to that version, which is Futaba's Palace theme. And they are incredible. I think they did an amazing job interpreting her character. With the exception of that... Oh, another one. This isn't contemporary Persona, so I'm not sure if he would even count within like the Persona fandom, but there's a channel called Snickety Slice that does the ultimate Persona analysis, and he started with Persona 1, and he's slowly working his way up. He just a few days ago released the final part of his Persona 2 Eternal Punishment thing. He's been doing this for like over 2 years at this point, and he's just getting through it. They're all like really long videos. They're really great, super entertaining and fun. I love when they come out. It sucks that it takes so many months sometimes.
Yeah.
So those are good Persona creators, and I consider them like quote unquote like a positive view of the fandom and everything. Exception to that, pretty much. I mean, there might be a couple good artists on Twitter that I like, but they're mostly Japanese artists, so I don't even understand their opinions. It's not like I'm translating all their tweets or anything, you know? or trying to take the time to read it in my like elementary understanding of Japanese. With the exception of that, it's horrible. It feels like a lot of the time SMT Persona just steps on their own graves. They're way too self-hating for fans of a series that's all about accepting and loving and, you know, growing to have pride in yourself. Way too much self-deprecation. Way too much shipping Tumblr bullshit. Way too much... and shipping's fine. Just, like, way too much canonizing things that blatantly mischaracterize characters. Like... Well, I think this. Well, that is wrong. That is literally wrong. It's just my headcanon. So, do you really think that or not? Like, obnoxious, stupid, horrible, terrible. A lot of them are extremely dismissive toward mainline SMT and other Persona games, which is fine. I've barely touched on mainline SMT. You could call me dismissive in some regard, but I'm not proudly dismissive of it. They seem extremely friggin' ignorant, and they just... They do the thing that bad essayists do, which is, hey, you're wrong. No, it was just my opinion. Shut up. You can't state something like it's a fact, and then when you're disproven, say it's your opinion. So, honestly, I hate it. I don't associate with or personally I've not personally had good impressions of the Persona fandom, but it doesn't change the fact that the Persona games are legitimate masterpieces. They are phenomenal, amazing works of art, literally some of the best of their genre and of the medium. Thoroughly amazing, and I won't stop loving them. But yeah, no, the fan base is extremely sad. Most fandoms, I guess, are like that, but I've never been a part of them.
Yeah.
What's been your worst fandom, Spooky, that you've come across throughout all your different videos you've made?
I would say probably Naruto. I don't know why.
That doesn't surprise me for some reason.
Yeah. I mean, the Bleach one's kind of iffy as well, but I would say Naruto's the one where people are like, I don't know, people are just angry for no reason.
Mm-hmm. I haven't made a Naruto video, but I agree.
It's just everywhere I see it, like, I feel like any time I've ever made a Naruto video, that's where I get, like, the most big brain people, or, the foreheads, just about anything, and it's like, just stop.
Yeah.
I don't know why you care so much. Like, I don't know why everything has to be about power scaling.
Yeah. No, I made one comment about, like, the big three and, like, current shonen, and how I was just like, it was overall a positive tweet. I was like, it's so awesome how many great, amazing shows are coming out, and, blah, blah, blah. And then I was talking about how I'd been watching One Piece finally, and how I was like, I can't believe that the big three are held, like, next to each other, because One Piece, it feels like to me, in terms of, like, quality, was just well above and beyond. And I don't have nostalgia for One Piece. I have nostalgia for Naruto, and I recently rewatched OG Naruto, like, 8 months ago or whatever. And I think One Piece is genuinely, like, on another level. I think it's amazing. I think it's super great. I'm still only partway through Punk Hazard. I've mainly been paused. Okay. Yeah, I haven't got the Dressrosa yet.
I love Dressrosa so much.
But that's mainly just because I've been moving. I've been busy trying to get videos out and stuff. And I made, like, one comment where I said, like, and I don't mean Naruto. Dear God, not Naruto. Like, an obvious joke. It was a reply to the original tweet. And through that, I got freaking quote retweeted by, like, 30 people out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
Some people who have YouTube channels and have, like, 30K or more. And then, like, a huge subtweet conversations blatantly on Twitter about people saying ignorant things about anime that were, like, blatantly, like, about me. I make a single joke in a reply saying, Dear God, not Naruto, one time. And I'm being accused of slander and told that I'm an insane, stupid person who's never had a good take in their life. Like, it's amazing.
Sweet.
I was like, boy, oh boy, wish they could hear my real Naruto opinion. Then
Yeah, like,
it was a horrible.
The Naruto diehards are next level.
I've literally never seen anything on that level, like, at all. Like, it's crazy.
That's so stupid. They need a life.
You always hear like things like My Hero have bad fan bases, but then you really see the dirt that comes out with some of them, and it's like, it's not that bad in comparison.
That's where
but at the same time,
you get the phrase "touch grass." I feel like that comes to mind with some of these fandoms.
Go punch a mailbox.
The My Hero fandom's bad, like, in like a Tumblr way.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, what you would describe the Naruto fandom being bad in the way of, but it's just scary, dude. It's scary.
I'd say, I don't want to make a bad comment.
I know what I'd compare it to.
Please.
Oh, the dream stuff. Dream guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know enough
Minecraft
about that.
Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know enough about that to really make a good opinion, but I don't want to be involved in it, so that's where I'm at. So.
Yeah, well, I won't talk about Naruto much more. Please don't hurt me, anyone. And I don't think Naruto's terrible. I played Clash of Ninjas 2 on the GameCube when I was a kid.
Wait, which one is that? Hold on, is that unlocking another repressed?
See, unlike these two, I love Naruto and think it's flawless. So.
Really?
No. I'm just memeing.
Dude, I played the fuck out of Clash of Ninja 2.
Yeah, it's great. No, I loved the crap out of it when I was a
game.
kid. So I was so excited to rewatch, and there was just, I don't know. It's not, like, terrible, but I don't know. For me, it just, I don't want to talk about it. I'm scared. I'm scared to talk about it.
We will stop here.
Oh shit.
So who do you think's the strongest character in Naruto?
Oh, great.
It's whoever the artist, or it's whoever the author decides is the strongest character, since his writing is so inconsistent.
Oh, so Sasuke. Okay, thanks.
I guess
Why did Naruto not end up with Sakura? What the heck? Let's get more positive. What are some of your favorite series hiding? And then what are some of your recent watches or playthroughs or reads or whatever?
Watches, playthroughs, or reads? You just mean, like, literally any media I've consumed at all?
Yeah, recently.
Yeah.
You can do that for just recent stuff, but, like, favorite anime is probably more what I'm getting at.
Yeah. Favorite anime of all time is specifically the second season of Sangatsu no Lion. That's my favorite thing ever. I literally, like, I can't perceive any notable flaw of it. I think it's consistently beautiful, moving. It looks gorgeous. It's very unique, and I don't know. It just does something for me. I can't see flaws in it. It's my favorite anime.
Okay. I am curious what your other favorite game is besides Persona 5 Royal.
Sekiro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I've beaten that game well over 90 times now.
That's incredible.
Goodness.
Well, I got to be able to speedrun it, and so once I was able to speedrun it, there was a time for a few months there on Twitch where I would just play through the game once or twice in one stream. I just beat the whole game like twice in a stream.
That's unbelievable. That's crazy to me.
So that actually might be a modest thing to say 80. I've played through it a lot. I have like over 450 hours on PS4 and almost 200 hours on PC.
Oh my gosh.
And it's a game that I can beat now in less than an hour and a half pretty consistently.
Huh?
Oh my god.
I've played the game a lot.
Oh my gosh.
My first playthrough was like 80 hours though, so, you know, little
I'm pretty sure Sekiro's like, I'm going to step out on a limb and say I think Sekiro's kind of widely known as one of the hardest Souls-like games.
One of the hardest games of all time, yeah.
Yeah, so that's super impressive to me.
It's like basically speedrunning territory. Like, I don't know
No, it
what
is
the records
speedrunning,
are
yeah.
No,
for
it is
or anything.
speedrunning. He said it was speedrunning.
Yeah. So
Did I miss that? Okay, I must have missed that.
for the specific run that I would do, it'd be a glitchless Immortal Severance, patch 1.6. For a while there, I was top 40 worldwide for my playthrough.
Oh my god.
I got down to an hour and 12 minutes for my best.
Oh my god. Did you submit that?
Nah.
Speedrun.com?
Top 40 is
What?
too loser. If I could get top 10, then I would, but I'd have to break under an hour to get top 10.
I'm blown away.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
That's
It's a fun
awesome.
game. It's almost a technically perfect game. I know like all the enemy placements. There's barely any like RNG involved in the game. It's literally like how skilled are you? How good are you at abusing and manipulating the systems that you're given? Of course, I do glitchless, so I'm not like, teleporting or anything. This is literally just normal going through the game. Yeah, it's just like I love the technical ceiling. I love going up the wall,
Uh-huh.
and it's just very satisfying to get good at something.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially something so widely known as like extremely difficult.
Yeah.
that's, man,
It's got to be super rewarding.
that's got to be above get good. That's incredible. That's, man.
Yeah, I've had a ton of fun with it. And I still, even talking about it now, like, I could play it. Like, it's just fun. It's relaxing for me at this point. It's like a stress relief, just, like, turn off my brain and beat the game.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I felt with Neo, The World Ends With You, that just came out.
I still haven't played those games, but they look good.
Yeah, the first one is really, really well written and well crafted. And, yeah, the characters are really well developed. The second one's fine, but it's probably more fun gameplay-wise.
Yeah. I can't say. Oh, wait. Are you saying Sekiro is?
No, I'm talking The World Ends With You.
Okay, yeah. I don't know much about the gameplay. I know the character designs and that it's very focused on the world and characters. That's most of what I know. It looks like Kingdom Hearts. I know that too.
Yeah, yep. And there's a lot of theories out there that it's part of the Kingdom Hearts world. So I don't know that I believe that, but maybe.
It's true.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know Nomura?
I don't need to.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he knows.
I got the insider knowledge.
Thanks, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, not to bring Naruto back into the conversation here, but you mentioned how you had some nostalgia for it, Evan. Shush.
Oh, sorry, man.
Please. So I was gonna ask, like, what got you into anime?
So I actually got into anime through my. She was one of my cousins, and she was super cool. I really liked her. I was like 9 years old, and she introduced me to Full Metal Alchemist and like the original. And I remember to this day her ranting about how Alphonse was getting a new voice actor for the 09 version that was going to come out soon, and how she wasn't sure if she was going to like his new voice in Brotherhood because it wasn't out yet. And so and she introduced me to Azumanga Daioh, which was one of her favorite slice of life anime at the time. In fact, I can still in my head hear her singing the opening to it because she would sing it as she was like going around her room and stuff. And so she really got me into and interested in anime because I thought she was super cool and fun. I really liked how reserved and kind of like chill she was. She was also hardcore. This was like early internet days. She had a giant binder that was filled out of a custom, personally made strategy guide of Kingdom Hearts 2, every single item in the game, the drop rates for every single item. She had all put it together. And also,
what?
Now this is super shallow, but I was like 8 years old. She was also very like skinny. And for me, my idea of anime was either the nerdy boy, not the nerdy boys, but like the guys who were yelling on my playground all the time. And I'm kind of a little more introverted. It was either that or it was like fat people. So the fact that she was like a somewhat conventionally attractive, like skinny girl in her 20s who was into anime made anime like the coolest thing ever to me. Like it basically gave younger me the permission to like anime and not feel like a loser. And so I really liked what she showed me there. And then from there I watched like Haruhi Suzumiya and Lucky Star, and then I watched Toonami, and I read Yu Yu Hakusho, the manga. I didn't actually see the show till years later. Same thing with Shaman King. And then I watched Naruto on Toonami and really liked it. Yeah, that was kind of my whole entryway into it then.
Wow, that's really interesting, because I feel like a lot of people, at least my age, started with like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, and that was kind of their gateway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh was in there too. They're so like separate in my mind. I don't even know when that came in, to be honest.
Yeah, like my earliest memories are watching like Sailor Moon and Inuyasha on TV, even though I had no clue what was going on. I just thought it was cool. But then Yu-Gi-Oh and Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon are just kind of like, I don't know, they don't feel like anime.
Yeah.
When you're that young, you know? But I think Naruto on Toonami is when I was really like, oh, this is anime, and I fucking love it. Watch that every Saturday.
Yeah, I remember that they would say hell on Toonami, and my mom was like, I really don't like you watching that.
Oh my god. I remember, like, the first time I was watching Bleach, because it was on Adult Swim, they were doing, like, reruns from, like, episode 1 to wherever it would end off that night. And I was up super late when I shouldn't have been. And I just remember at one point, Ichigo, or who was it? It's the girl who's missing an arm in Soul Society. I can't remember her name offhand. But she, like, walks in and is like, oh, you asshole! And I was like, oh my god! And I'd, like, turn down the volume really fast. I thought I was gonna get
I just remember doing that at different times. When he would say, dang it, in Naruto. I'd be like, oh no.
A Kukaku, thank you, Raph, thank you. But yeah, it's just funny stuff like that. It's like you think you're gonna get in trouble over something so silly, but yeah. Anime was just hardcore cartoons back in the day. That's all it was.
Yeah, basically. That's how I got into it, though.
Okay. That's a really unique story. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what have you been recently watching, playing, reading?
What have I been?
What have you been doing lately?
I've been hanging out, been closer to family and stuff, and been personal relationships and stuff. But in that time period, I rewatched Silent Voice for the third time. It was great. I watched Django Unchained for the first time. That movie's a masterpiece. That movie is so good.
I love Tarantino.
That movie is amazing. I was like that was like the first time in a long time I've watched like an American movie, just like not anime, and it's ended, and I've just like immediately been like, that's a masterpiece. Yeah, I watched Theory of Everything. That's pretty good. I've been rewatching some Keroro Gunso, Sergeant Frog. That's pretty good. And then other than that, the only thing I'm really watching this season right now, I want to watch more, but I'm just watching Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, pretty much. That's all I'm keeping up with. Good.
Wow, that's a lot.
There's only like one anime in there.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody even watch seasonal anime?
Yeah, I also just read through Chainsaw Man. That was a couple weeks ago now, so I wasn't even thinking of it. But yeah, Chainsaw Man was awesome. That was more than a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that was like over a month ago now. It was great.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man is super cool. I just loved about it that like every single time a new chapter would come out, I would have to like go back because the transition from one chapter to another sometimes felt so like out of left field.
Yep.
I was like, how did that get to that? What happened again? Oh wait, this still doesn't make any sense. What is even happening?
Yeah, I have kind of wondered because a lot of people I know are kind of like you and watched it as it was coming out or read it as it was coming out, and I just literally sat down and like read the whole thing in like 1 6-7 hour session. It was all like information overload. Like when it stopped, I was like, my brain hurt. I want to go to bed now.
Oh, I'm super excited to see what they do with it in animation though, because there's a lot of like really cool stuff they could do, especially with the style. But we'll have to see.
Oh yeah.
You know, not everything translates well.
Yeah, it looks great right now. I'm just hoping that it looks as good as the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So I got one more big question here. if you don't mind us, getting a little look into your world here.
Yeah, okay.
But when it comes to the future of your content, the future of your channel, do you have any big plans coming up or anything you're working on that you can tell us about? Or
Yeah, I can't say there's like a huge project in the works. There is a lot of big projects I have that are not anime related that I want to put out on my side channel. I've been recently starting to post on there with some more kind of BS videos. But like so Sekido analysis sucks ass. There's not a single good Sekido analysis on YouTube. It sucks. They're all bad. They all say shitty stuff like, "Oh, it's like a rhythm game." Shut up. Die, fall over, die.
I've heard that so much.
I've got like a spreadsheet somewhere that I was working on a long time ago where I have meticulously gone through and found every single like objective flaw, every single like subjective flaw, like a flaw that I think that isn't necessarily like, objective or whatever, but that I personally think would recommend it, and random things, and also addressing all of the like main criticisms that were levied against Sekido, because I think it's a near perfect game. I'd love to put that video out. It'll probably be like 40-50 minutes, but it'll go on my side channel. There's no way it'll succeed on the main channel. And then a long time ago, I had a Persona 5 video I was working on. I don't know if it'll ever come out. There was a data problem with my computer. It was like 2019. And I had like 6,000 words that I'd been working on for like 3 weeks, and it all got deleted. And I got like so depressed over it that I've just never been able to revisit it.
Yeah, don't blame you.
So I mean, there's some big projects that like I have in mind. I have in the early stages, but I'd say there's nothing like super big coming out. I just put out my Point of Chainsaw Man video, which unfortunately I got hit with a copyright strike immediately after, so the video got majorly suppressed.
Damn.
Despite the fact that engagement-wise, it is literally unheard of in the history of my whole channel how good it's doing. Yeah, that's been a big issue recently. My views have been down for a while because I've just been hit with copyright strike after copyright strike. As soon as one gets taken off, another one gets put on, so it's been hard to get my channel back in the groove.
Yeah, it sucks how those kind of things like just automatically get suppressed.
Yeah, especially because you're like
Videos that
demotivated
get
to
monetized
post when you
just
have a
die.
copyright strike because you know it'll perform worse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just got a
Bummer.
video fucking age restricted out of nowhere for the first time in like ever, and I was like, oh, that's awful.
Oh.
Because then it's just dead. It was doing so well, just dead. Womp womp. But what can you do?
Yeah, YouTube's irritating sometimes.
Always.
Great.
But
That's my plan, though. Sorry if it wasn't exactly super meaty. I don't have anything like for the main channel that's super big that's planned right now. Just kind of coming as I go,
yeah, no, and that's perfectly fine. Like, not everyone has everything planned out, but just had to take a look if anything was coming on the horizon here. But still having a bunch of cool things like in the work just from over time.
Oh, I actually do.
Always interested to hear about. Oh.
I forgot. So I've been waiting to have a video that blows up. As soon as I have a video that blows up, the next video that I'll put after that is going to be this video because I don't expect it to do well. When I was in high school, my AP English 4 teacher had everyone write a letter to themselves in 5 years, and she kept the letters and mailed it to us. And it's been 5 years, and I haven't opened the letter yet, but I wrote an entire script of my thoughts leading up to it. I'm going to record myself on camera opening and reading it for the first time, and then I'm going to type the last half of the script, writing my thoughts after the fact. And it's just a general retrospective over my channel and how my life has gone and grown and went over the last few years. And I'm planning on calling it From You 5 Years Ago, which is like Attack on Titan reference, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like a big like video that goes through like the history of my whole channel and everything that's happened, the personal things in my life that have stunted and helped me grow and all of that. And I'm really excited and really want to make that video. And that's another reason that these copyright strikes have been so frustrating, because it's literally been sitting on my desk since I moved here 2 months ago, but I haven't been able to have a big video because all these copyright strikes. So that's a big video. In a personal regard, very big video.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
But who knows when it'll come out?
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking forward to that one. That seems like a really cool idea more than anything. And see all that personal growth and whatnot, especially from 5 years ago, because kind of earlier how you were saying in like the early days of your channel you were doing a lot more personal things. I was going to ask if you ever like kind of look back on where you were at those times versus where you are now, but I think this idea you're going to be putting out soon will kind of bring all that to the surface anyways.
Yeah, that's the idea, because I haven't made a purely personal video in a while because of optics and stuff, and the more eyes that are on you, the scarier it is to open up like I used to.
Yeah.
Well, Evan, do you have any more banger questions here? Are you ready for the worst game you've ever played?
Oh, I'll do one more. I have a few
right.
more, but I think one's more interesting than some of the others. Other ones were kind of covered. So, recently, in the past, I don't know, was it a week and a half or so, you were at Otakon? Is that right?
Yeah.
How was that? Talk about your experience there, meeting everyone, talking to people, hanging out.
It was great. I'd already met a lot of the people, but there was a lot of new people that I hadn't met, mainly from the Love community. I hadn't met, Dami and Love and Soul and I guess Tyler Doe. I hadn't met him. I met Dono there as well. There's so many like smaller people and also people from like the Twitch community. So like Jowsy, I met him as well.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just meeting all those people. Super freaking cool. Super awesome. Diet Weeb, met him. We were at the bar together and I got a drink and we talked about drinks over at the bar. Well, there was a whole other group of people like dancing in the bar in like the in the area, in the dance area. And it's just a lot of interesting. Also, my mod for over a year and a half, Lizard Emoji, she was there. So I got to spend a few days with her, and that was really cool, like meeting her in person. Hatchling, another huge viewer of my chat who's been there for a long time. He's a great guy. He's super supportive and awesome. Really a blessing to have him in my community. Got to meet him as well. There's just a lot of people, and people that I never heard of or knew about at all. I got to see them, which was really cool, and know who they were and meet them. And then I also got to meet fans at the fan meetup thing. Evan and I did it both at the same time. He kind of kept all of his people around, and I think he took a picture or whatever. I just kind of took some personal pictures with them, with individual people, but that was great. Dealer's Hall was awesome. I spent a fuckload of money for like the first time ever on like a bunch of like imported Japanese Persona shit.
Oh, sweet.
But then, it was fun partying. It was fun just seeing the monuments, World War II Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, all that. That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know. It was a great time in Otakon. Otakon was awesome. I'm glad that I was able to go. I do think that DC has this like weirdly depressing atmosphere to it.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm really banking on AX being open next year because AX, in my experience, was a way more like magical experience. DC felt kind of depressed.
Yeah.
Felt depressed.
Oh, did you go to any panels or anything like that?
Nope.
Oh man.
Not a single one. Well, a lot of them I was not interested in the titles. There were like no industry panels at it this year because of COVID stuff. And yeah, so there's like no industry stuff. And in my view, like unless it's a really novel and cool, like engaging idea, most of the time, whatever topic you're going to hear at a panel, you could probably find in a video essay, except for it's scripted and well thought out and like 8 minutes long instead of 45. And if at any point you go, this person's full of shit, you can just like leave, click off the video. I feel like you're kind of stuck just listening to somebody talk off the cuff for an hour.
Evan, you know the guy I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
absolutely.
That guy did not stick around.
So we went to a convention, a local one, so it wasn't super big, and there's a panel on anime boobs, basically. I don't remember what they talked about, like what the title was, but one of our friends was like, it
was best boobs in anime. That's what
okay. He was like, we gotta go to that, and so we go to it, and then they talk about it's a very like feminist panel.
It was a bait and switch.
It was a bait, and they said it. They were like, we baited and switched you guys, basically. And so it was a very feminist panel of like boobs in anime don't work the way they're supposed to, and it was like 45 minutes that, and immediately when they said it was a bait and switch, some guy stood up and walked out.
Yeah. And then the guy who dragged us in there at like 10 minutes, and he's like, we need to go. Can we go? It's like, you wanted to see this.
Yeah,
sit down. You drug us in here. You're going to sit through this. And like, one of the girls was just munching on Cheetos the whole time.
In the microphone. Yep. It wasn't like walking away snacking. In the microphone.
The other one was really drunk. They had a third person who wasn't even there. It was something.
We decided
it was an experience.
We decided to start clapping as much as possible, like very frequently. They'd just say something, we just start clapping, and then they'd be like, "All right, enough applause."
I also remember that they one of our friends kept like raising his hand to ask a question, and eventually they just looked over and they're like, "We're not taking any questions." Because he just kept doing it.
And then he
We're
said
not taking any questions.
But
You're at a panel. The whole idea is audience engagement.
They're like,
I know.
They're like, you took his question, and they're like, yeah, but we don't know you.
He got
dabbed on, basically.
R.I.P.
But yeah, so I totally respect your no panel decision after that one.
The J Music Group had a really cool pre-panel to their show, and their concert the next day was amazing, if that counts as a panel. But they had like a pre-show panel as well that we went into for a few minutes. Well, some other people I was with. I was like with Shabes, Corey Waiden, Jack is Boy, and Core. I was with all of them. It was cool, but we were all really tired, and we were like, I want to leave. It was like 6 p.m. basically. So we only stayed for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But that was probably awesome. But yeah, that's like the closest thing I came to being at a panel.
Epic.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fun time.
Absolutely. All right.
So, on the American Sushi Podcast, we always play some sort of game.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're really cool, not often. Sometimes they're really short and stupid, and other times they're the worst. And unfortunately for you, hiding today is going to be the worst.
Yeah, this is
All right.
I think I genuinely have made the worst game of all time.
probably going to make DC look cheerful. It was how we're going to be during this game.
The worst game.
Yeah, so I'm just going to apologize ahead of time. Do you have the stream open by chance?
Yeah, I have the stream
So
open.
that you can see a visual? Okay. Because there is going to be a visual involved with this. Listen, on paper, I think this sounds like a good idea, but I think in execution is what's going to make it awful.
Well, you're the sole person in charge of execution. You realize
So
that?
basically, you two are going to be playing against each other. So, there's going to be 3 different rounds.
Okay.
And whoever wins is really cool, and whoever loses is a loser. That's what we're doing.
Great.
So there's a lot on the line here. But basically, since you are, hiding in public, I figured what we're going to do is see if we can find you hiding in public. So I looked up some Where's Waldo.
This
and
sucks.
I photoshopped you in there.
I found me at the table with the
I
thing.
absolutely see him. He's at the cash
Oh,
register.
hiding won. He won. he got round 1. He said it first.
Right, got it.
And he said
It's
exactly
great.
what it was.
I didn't know it was started. I hate my life.
Yeah, look, I even had the answer. He's at the table at the cash register. Yeah. Wow, that
Oh, thanks, man.
See, in my mind, I was like, well, what happens if it takes them forever to find it? They're just gonna be sitting here like, where the fuck
You
is
thought that would take us forever?
Well, that's round 1, sir.
Oh, great.
Making it a little harder.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I honestly have no clue. Well, guess what, Evan? You look like you're a loser, sir.
What?
Already, because this man hides in public for a living.
Oh,
What are you gonna do? Huh?
I'd hope I'd be
Probably.
able to recognize my own profile picture better, to be honest.
Oh, I see him. He's the girl in the bottom left by the 3 people.
You're right. In
people.
the red bikini. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was so ready.
Yeah. Oh my God! It's down to the wire. Look at him.
How many rounds are there?
There's only 3 because I thought this would take longer.
You thought it would take
God
longer?
damn it.
That's why.
Yeah, because I didn't know. Like maybe
See,
in my head I'm like,
what
okay,
you
well he's
should-
not like that.
What you should have done is just not put him in one of them.
Well, yeah, but I'd be an asshole
And
if
then
I
see
did
what we
that.
do.
But okay, all right. The last one's on the screen.
I don't see it quite yet. Oh. Okay. Oh, I found me. I'm the guy holding the. It's not a sword. It's like a balancing beam with the giant red shoes on the.
Oh, Evan,
Yeah.
you
Where?
He's here. I'll show you.
I don't see
He's
him,
right here.
actually.
Hey, look at him. Look at him. He's balancing.
Oh.
Hiding's the winner.
Good
He's
job, man.
really good at not finding who's hiding in public. Cause Evan, you're a big smelly loser. How do you feel?
Pretty sad.
Okay, so I need genuine critique here. Was this the worst game you've ever played?
No, that's fun.
Yeah.
It was quick and efficient.
Okay, was
I was a little scared
It was-
because I played the game Briggs and Rustage like a long time ago, and like my ping to Briggs was worse than his ping to Rustage. So whenever I would call out and say that I saw something, like for me it was before Rustage said anything, but for Briggs, Rustage said it before, so it created this bad thing where it's like I could never be early enough.
Oh, I know what you're.
So-
was it because you guys did like a spin-off of Buster?
Yeah.
Buster,
We did
with
the eyes or
I think.
lies thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was just kind of unfortunate because of the way that our internets were working that day. It was kind of very unfortunate. So in theory, that could have happened.
Yeah, I think that happened for me.
No, I think you just suck eggs.
I know, you got it before me once, so...
That was me guessing. I just thought you'd be down there.
Oh. Okay, well, Evan, since you've sat through every single awful game we played, was that the worst one?
No, not at all. That's not...
Really?
First of all, that was so quick, so that can't be worse than fan fiction or fake. Second of all, coin flip game is a thing, and you just flip a coin, and that sucked.
Do you guys want to play the coin flip game since that was so fast?
What's the coin flip game?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to flip a coin, and one of you are going to call it.
Yeah, you can call it hiding.
There's like no anime theme to it at all. It's just literally...
It's literally flipping a coin.
All right.
I mean, so you want to call it? I have it ready.
Heads,
I won't
heads.
lie. I promise. All right. Flipped it on the hand.
Yeah, I knew how sad he was when I won.
Yeah. Okay, well, in your own ways, today you're both winners and losers.
Thanks, man. What?
Well, that hiding. Thanks for suffering with us today.
No, I thought it was
honestly. I feel like we had a lot of really cool conversations.
Yeah.
It was really cool getting brought into your world and how you view things, especially when it comes to content and different philosophies and all that. I know Evan had a great time talking about Persona.
Absolutely.
He's been waiting for that for a long time.
I've been bugging Spooky to play Persona for years now, and he hates single-player games, so he won't do it.
No, it's just I don't play video games anymore. That's basically it. 'Cause I suck.
You play Apex.
Yeah, but that's my relaxed time. Sekiro, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Hiding in Public on YouTube, or hiding_public on Twitter, or Hiding Kun on Twitch, KUN. You know, the anime garbage. That's what, not the other thing.
Did you just call anime garbage?
Well,
Not
my
the other
name,
thing.
I don't know, the Kun is kind of cringe, I feel like.
Not the other thing.
But yeah. But I'm playing Persona 4 Golden right now, and after I win and beat it again, I'm going to be playing SMT4 for the first time. I've set it up so that it's going to be in 1080p, so really nice, and also I'm going to be playing with my PS4 controller, so it's going to be like optimal experience on stream for SMT4, because SMT4 is a 3DS game initially.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Other than that, yeah. Side channel, Hiding in Private. But I think you still have to search Hiding Couldn't Live, because I just changed the title a few days ago and it hasn't quite carried over. I posted a video about this Christian orthodoxy, these people warring over if Fumos are Catholic or Orthodox Christian, and then a bunch of Orthodox Christians actually finding it and saying that they were being blasphemous and getting into arguments on Twitter, and it's really funny. And so
that's awesome.
I uploaded that earlier today. It was just kind of a shitposty video, but it was pretty interesting, I thought. So
No, that's
that
super
too.
funny.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So
And,
you go ahead, Spook.
Evan.
Oh, cool.
I was gonna say where can they find us?
Oh, thanks, man. They can find us on YouTube at American Sushi Podcast, at twitch.tv/American_sushi, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, and other assorted podcasting websites. American Sushi Podcast, and Twitter at Sushi Podcast. Follow us on there. We tweet sometimes.
We're also available on smart refrigerators.
Just like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
did you see that guy? That's getting re-released again?
No way.
Oh fuck yeah!
That's like the 12th time.
It's literally the 12th time or the 13th time.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I was actually right with that number.
It's the most
Hell yeah.
re-released game ever. It just beat
See, I'm
Resident
still a
Evil
gamer.
4.
I'm still.
Wow.
But Hiding, once again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's pretty enjoyable. It's a pretty enjoyable time.
Man,
Hey, that's the best weekend. That's the best weekend.
you hit us twice with the nicest thing we've ever heard.
Oh man. Well, someday in the future, if you'd like to come back, I'm sure we'll bully you again.
Yeah.
Short.
But until then, we like to leave these with a really stupid question. I don't know whose turn it is, Evan?
It's yours.
Is it mine? Okay. Well, my question is, out of the 10 toes, which one is your favorite? Leave your answer in the
Yeah,
comments.
these feet questions are starting to sound a little more sus now.
Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Listen, I'm just going with the
Big
meme these
toe, because even though they're the ugliest, without your big toe, you actually can't properly balance. You have to relearn how to walk. So, They're very efficient and practically useful.
There's a science.
Is your guys' second toe bigger than your big toe?
Yeah,
it's slightly
I think so.
longer, but it's not like.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I
Let
mean.
me
Yeah,
check.
longer is what I mean.
Actually, it's not.
Mine's longer.
I thought it was. My middle toe.
I got long, thin toes, just like my hands. Long, thin fingers.
I think that's a sign of intelligence.
Are you pulling that out of your butt? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, bye, gamers.